always say, if it wasn't for little, this one right here, there wouldn't be big. And at the same time, if it wasn't for big, there couldn't be little. So as you see this little one, will fit inside this one that's a tad bit taller, bigger than it. But both of them can fit in this one. And then all three of these can fit into that one. That's why they had an old saying, the snake eat what's in the belly of the frog. It's an African proverb. So this one right here encapsulates inside of this one, but this encapsulation includes this and this and this. Well, this is how our universe works. Because when you stack all of these into this one, and this one fits into there, this is going to be that which encompasses all, right? But wait a minute, what about this one? Isn't this that which encompasses all too? Because it encompasses all the things that's inside of it, but it did not encompass this. So it truly can be that which encompasses all, because it didn't encompass this, but it encompassed all that it was able to encompass. Do you understand? So it's the whole broad ideal of the universal uterus that will always be that which encompasses all that it can encompass. Because once she encompasses all the materialism or pure potentiality back out of her, where everything comes from small back up to big. And that is truly the source of sustainment. And that's why it is she, as the Russian people know when they made her be female, that truly encompasses all. But it is not Russian. This is ancient Kemetic. That's where that came from.
Hypothesizing this for a very practical reason. The Earth's magnetic pole moved a little bit every year to the west.
What that means is, you see the spirals here? That means inside of the Earth there is a whole bunch of conglomerate of smaller Earths, as though indicated in the rings. Now where your consciousness in the Earth will be at is according to your consciousness of what books you read, what foods you eat, what you're drinking, okay, how you thinking. All that could go on right here on Earth. So you got to see the big picture. You can't just stay on lockdown. These are holes into the Earth that will let you into different dimensions of knowledge and consciousness.
And his idea was that our outer sphere had inner spheres that turned independently of the outer one. He also suggested that these interior spheres would also be able to support life.
In 1818, former U.S. Army Captain John Cleve Sims Jr. announced that there were vast openings at each pole where we could enter inner Earth.
Black holes. That's all they are. We call them sinkholes. Not only are they there, they can pop up sporadically anywhere they want. The Earth has to breathe. She can open up portals to take air in. She can do anything she wants. She is a living entity that can do that. You start freaking all out and everything because you don't understand the dynamics of it. The dynamics is that the Earth is a living, functioning entity, and if she wants to yarn and fart and poop and make a big ass hole where she can get air into her inner recesses, she can just do it. And if she get tired of your ass raising hell on the planet, you can see the lines right there. That's the same lines that's in the damn, what they call sinkholes. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They have ships that come in, extraterrestrial ships that come in and make their way into the Earth through these holes and every damn thing. It's been going on forever. The only reason why you find this stuff hard to believe is because of the knowledge you've been getting in the European schools that was designed to lock you down. I hate to be one to tell you that, but it's true.
With Sims, the idea of a hollow Earth gets tied into exploring for the pole. At this point, nobody had actually seen Antarctica, for instance.
See, out of all the black people that have been on this earth forever, at this point, no one had ever seen it. What he mean to say is our white asses had not. We can't say that about anyone else.
The hollow Earth theory again captured the public's imagination in 1864 with the release of Jules Verne's second novel, A Journey to the Center of the Earth.
The novel takes an Icelandic guide and a professor and a young man down into the center of the Earth Journey to the Center of the Earth could really have been called a journey to the center of geology. Geology and paleontology were a very hot topic in the early 1860s, and there was a lot of discussion of that in Journey to the Center of the Earth.
But while Verne popularized the idea that extinct life forms might still exist inside the Earth, others envisioned that the Earth contained advanced underground civilizations.
Supposedly, they have advanced technology. They've got ray guns and special weapons, and even they have flying saucers, other craft like that.
But is there any evidence that such fantastic claims could be true? And has anyone actually been to the world within our Earth? Proponents of the Hollow Earth theory say yes, and that one of the explorers was no less a luminary than famed polar pioneer Admiral Richard E. Byrd. In the 1920s, Byrd made world headlines by flying over the North Pole, and by becoming the first man to fly solo over the South Pole. But Hollow Earth theorists believe that the famous explorer went even farther, and that on February 19, 1947, Admiral Byrd piloted a plane through a hole near the North Pole into the interior of the Earth.
Flying saucer type craft took control of his airplane with some kind of tractor beam. And they landed up near an inner Earth city, and the message that they had for us was that they consider themselves the guardians of this planet, okay? He says, we don't approve of you people using nuclear weapons. We had just blown up a couple of cities in Japan a couple of years before. So,
look how, as a matter of factly, he say that. We had just blown up a couple of cities in Japan a couple of years before. No, see, the true dynamics of that is that you guys dropped 2 atomic bombs on the citizens and the human beings that occupied that soil over there. And in doing that, you committed one of the worst crimes against humanity that has ever been demonstrated in the whole universe, as far as the knowledge that I have available to me. And for you to just sit there as nonchalantly as possible and say that as if it was nothing. Oh, we had a fender bender. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it.
this was the message that he was given. But when he got to Washington, they put a lid of secrecy on this, that this was not to go out.
If it was such a damn secret, his ass would have never left the interior of the earth, okay? See, this is just stupidity, okay? I don't believe anyone in their right mind that's flying the plane is just going to fly into a hole that they see in the earth, not knowing what's going to happen. What was he, suicidal or what? I mean, come on. Who would do that? I can see if he took a whole bunch of pictures of the hole and took it back and showed them to someone. But to fly his ass in there, I don't think so. You know, I really don't. I just get so tired of the rhetoric in there. We're so great and we can do this and we can do that. But the only thing we're going to give you is barbarism and war right now. But later, we're going to live up to our God status. I'm just so tired of it. I am.
Some say Admiral Byrd's own account of this flight into the hollow earth is detailed in his secret diary, published in the 1990s. Almost 4 decades.
Well, I guess it wasn't secret if it got published. Okay, because you can't publish something that's a secret.
After his death. But skeptics claim the diary is a forgery and point out that in February 1947, at the time Admiral Byrd was supposedly visiting this other world underneath the North Pole, he was actually part of a vast 4,700-man naval exploration called Operation High Jump, 12,000 miles away, near the South Pole. But could Byrd's inclusion in this large military operation at the South Pole have been merely a cover story? Some people claim it was, and this allowed him to slip away to the other end of the planet, unnoticed by the media.
Admiral Byrd, the rumor was, found a world of flying machines and people and more advanced than us. and that they helped him and that he left again. It's a myth. Nobody's really been able to prove it, but it's a great myth.
Could there really be vast open spaces within the Earth where advanced civilizations live? Extraterrestrial gods really have come here centuries ago and hidden the evidence of their journeys deep within caves and tunnels. Perhaps we've only just scratched the surface of our planet's underground mysteries. If so, what clues to our distant past might still be waiting to be found?
Sinkhole formed in Guatemala deep enough to hold 2 statues of liberty. And the Kimberley Diamond Mine took more than 40 years to make and is the deepest hole.
Okay, I don't think nobody dug this. They're going to say this is the deepest hole. They're going to have to actually say it was hand dug. Okay, now I don't know if they mean with bulldozers or whatever, but did nobody hand dig this, all right? Where this thing come from is a mystery to me, but I don't believe nobody mined this. I really don't. They are always coming up with ways to cover up shit. Like I told you, they have water in there, and I know that they've been there forever, but they be covered with water, and you don't recognize them as being sinkholes. You just see them as being bodies of water. The earth consumes things this way. This is like an orifice for consumption. Things are going to go into this sinkhole. Know that. That is what's going to happen. Things are going to go into all these sinkholes all over the planet.
Ever dug by hand. But are these the biggest and best holes of all time? To find out more, all aboard the boat. Drainage.
Okay, this is what I was concerned about. Where does this water go after it goes in here? I didn't know what this was. I was real curious about it because I saw one of these one day and I was saying, what is that? Why is that there? So I went to find out. That's how I came across this video right here. So I see this now. So what this said is when this water level fills up, it overspills into this and it goes down this. My thing is, where does it go after that? That's what I was concerned about, because now that there's new information coming on that there is people living in the earth, now I'm wondering, do they have thunderstorms and water and rain and all that in earth? Probably not. So that means they would have to get their water from the universe that falls on top of the earth, which means they would have to have a method of draining water into the recesses of the earth. Sure, there's water in the recesses of the earth already, but it would be just really wise to have another source of fresh water that's coming from above the earth. Voila. Just food for thought.
Holes like these help evacuate water when it gets dangerously close to the top of a dam or a road. Now normally they look like this, but when the water level rises they become giant holes in the earth. When the ground around a drilling rig in Darvaza, Turkmenistan collapsed, geologists lit the earth's leaking gas on fire so it...
Okay, this to me would have been stupid, okay? I mean, come on, let's think about it. They saying there was a collapse here, and then geologists went out there and said, hey, we smell a flammable fuel, let's light it. No, the earth opened up and showed everybody, I'm gonna make these sinkholes and introduce you motherfuckers to a gateway to the fire. That's the earth talking to you. They know that. They just don't want you to know that.
It wouldn't spread to villages. They thought it would run out of fuel in a few hours, but today, 40 years later, this fire...
They didn't light it. The earth lit it. The earth is showing you guys where you all going. Straight to hell.
Fiery hole, now known as the door to hell, continues to burn. But we've been closer to hell. The Kola Super Deep borehole in Russia is the deepest hole mankind has ever drilled. It reaches down 7.6 miles and was abandoned when scientists found that temperatures that far down are nearly twice as hot as expected, almost 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Abandoned boreholes are pretty freaky, especially when people can just go right up to them